this weekend in the Premier League. As you can see on the top left-hand side of the screen, 286 to Sim, 313 to me. Just a recap of how the scoring works. It's 5 points for a completely correct scoreline, 1 point for correct result. Star man, once you've picked that man, you cannot pick them again for the rest of the season. 5 points for a goal, 2 points for an assist. Let's start off with 12:30 kickoff at Goodison Park. Everton against Arsenal. Both of us gone for 1-1.
Yeah, Arsenal losing Gabriel, still no striker, still looking a bit toothless up front. I know they got a couple of goals on the weekend. With Saka being back, there's a big boost, but Everton just a bit more of that resolute and defensively solid, especially at Goodison Park. I think it's going to be a very difficult day for Arsenal, but are Everton good enough to fully capitalise and get the win? They're the draw specialists as well, so I see them making things difficult for Arsenal, but I don't see them just getting the win, so 1-1.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I feel like Everton at Goodison, very hard team to beat. I'm not sure if Arsenal going to have enough going forward to really keep going and take the win. And I can see Everton maybe getting a goal from a set piece or something like that. But yeah, 1-1. Can't really see either side winning the game. Next up is Crystal Palace against Brighton. Sim's gone for 3-1 to Palace here.
Yeah, Palace have a thing they go up against Brighton, don't they? They like to play against Brighton, and it's a big derby, so I think they'll be well up for it. And I think after a poor performance against Southampton, they'll want a bit of reaction to that. I think they're really well suited to playing a team like Brighton as well, sitting deep, being very good on the counter. The likes of Eze, Mateta, Sarr, I can really see they won 3-0, I think, at the Amex early in the season. Yeah. Really good display. And I think at Selhurst, I think they're going to come to this with a really good tactical approach. And I think they're going to win 3-1.
Yeah, the last time Palace have beaten Brighton at Selhurst is 2018. Long time ago. It's been 5 1-1 draws in a row. And that is pretty much the only reason I went for 1-1. It's every time these two teams face each other at Selhurst, it's 1-1. I remember getting a 5-pointer last year for picking the same result as well. None of these two sets of fans go at it ferociously, and neither side are going to want to lose this. And both sides in their own right have the players that can go and win the game. But in this game, the two teams usually just cancel each other out. I know, Palace did really well at the Amex, but at Selhurst Park, it usually is a different kettle of fish. So I have gone for 1-1 going into this big M62 derby or whatever it is, M32 derby, whatever it is. But
M20, I can't remember.
The M25, it's not that.
No.
Ipswich against Wolves, big game down at the bottom. Sim's gone for 1-1. I've gone for 2-1 to Wolves. And on the back of Ipswich getting a really impressive result at the Vitality, and also Wolves getting a good result against West Ham, I just feel like it's going to go down to who has more quality on the day, and I think that is Wolves. I know Cunha's still out. I think his last game suspended, but Strand Larsen has really picked up the pieces since Cunha's been out, and I feel like he's going to be the difference maker in this one. So 2-1 to Wolves.
I got 1-0. I think it's a massive game for Ipswich. So it's basically do or die in this game. They have to win to give themselves any sort of opportunity to get a victory here. And if they don't, it's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be nigh on impossible to stay up, I think. So they're going to go all out for victory here. But Wolves are a smart team. They know if they can get a draw, that's one step towards safety. So I think it's going to be a difficult game. They're going to have to weather a few storms, but I see them just about galvanising, getting themselves a draw here. So I've gone for a 1-1.
West Ham against Bournemouth. Both us gone for 2-2. And it's two teams on really poor form going at it. And I feel it's going to, foster to a really open game of football with the way Potter plays, with the way Iraola plays. I think it's going to be a bit of an end-to-end game. Both teams going to just want to get that win and get that monkey off their back a little bit. And I feel it's just going to be a split score in 2-2.
Yeah, both teams not doing great defensively, although Arsenal, obviously West Ham went to Arsenal 1-0, but I think overall they seemed a bit open still. West Ham haven't quite got to grips with how Potter wants to play, but Bournemouth really open at the moment as well, just conceded 2 goals to Ipswich and haven't quite been clicking in recent weeks and look a bit tired, so I agree. I see an open game, lots of chances, and Desmond.
Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest up next. Really difficult game to call this one. Both these teams on really good form. Villa on the back of 7 wins in all competitions. Forest flying high in 3rd in the division and playing very well in a tough team to beat. But Aston Villa are very good at Villa Park. No matter what their form shows in the Premier League, at home they usually do get a result. And I feel like this one will be no different. I think a draw, probably favours Nottingham Forest a bit more with where they're sitting in the league right now. Villa, if they've got ambitions to get into that Champions League spots in the Premier League, they need to start picking up consistent wins. So I think it'll be a frustrating day for Villa, but I can't see them breaking down Nottingham Forest too many times.
Yeah, I also see 1-1 draw, very close game, two very smart tactical managers trying to get the better of each other. I see maybe Forest scoring a goal from a corner or a set piece. I see Villa getting a moment with Asensio probably maybe off the bench to equalise, but I don't see too much between the sides, so I've gone for a 1-1 draw here.
Brentford against Chelsea, West London derby. Sim's gone for 3-2 to Chelsea.
Been a lot of goals at the Brent G-Tech Stadium, I think. Mainly at the beginning of the season, but
Yeah, not of late.
I think Brentford, they've been quite poor at home recently, and I think Chelsea will be a bit buoyed by beating Spurs and winning that London derby. Jackson back in the side, I think, gives them a bit of a new lease of life in the front line. Palmer looked a lot better as well in that game. So I think Brentford will give them a great game, but I think Chelsea will come away with the win with the quality they have. So 3-2.
Yeah, I've actually gone for Brentford to win the game 2-1. I was not impressed by Chelsea whatsoever against Tottenham on Thursday night. However, Brentford, they kind of did concede against a run of play where they were getting back into the game and looking like they were the team that were going to go on and actually do something in that second half against Newcastle. So they did lose away from home, which was their first loss away from home for a while, and they have been losing at home for a while. So I feel like that form with Brentford, they're just a weird team where they're winning loads of games at home and losing loads of games away. Then they were winning loads of games away and losing loads of games at home. And now I think it's going to flip. And I feel like Brentford got more than enough quality to break down this Chelsea side with Wissa, Mbeumo, Sade, Damsgaard pulling the strings as well. So I feel like Brentford could win this game, and I've gone for 2-1. Next up is Fulham against Liverpool. Again, we've gone for the same scoreline here, 2-1 to Liverpool.
Yeah, I see it. I think Fulham are so smart usually in these kind of big games. I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle for Liverpool. But what I do know is Liverpool usually in the second half just turn up and get the job done. And even if they're not having a good game, they always have that capability of just turning it on. Slot is very smart, making some subs, adjusting to the game. I see it being maybe 1-0 to Fulham in the first half. And Liverpool turning it around in the second half and winning the game 2-1 with a few substitutions and a few tweaks from Slot. And I think Fulham will get undone in the end. So, and now take one more step towards the title. So I'm going for a 2-1 win to Liverpool.
Yeah, I think it'll be a difficult game for Liverpool. Playing against Fulham usually is. Silva just comes up with these kind of tactical tweaks to hurt the opposition. And I think this will be no different. I think Fulham have been a bit disappointing recently, in my opinion, but I think Liverpool have been even more disappointing with what they've shown all season. I think they're just stuttering through at the moment and just about getting over the line, and I think that'll be no different. I think Fulham will be impressive, hurt Liverpool to a certain extent, but Liverpool just about to get over the line with a 2-1 win. Next up, we go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham against Southampton. Sim's gone for 3-1. I've gone for 2-1, both in the favour of Tottenham Hotspur, and we just not have it. I just could not predict a loss or a draw for Southampton in this game. Spurs have got to win against a team that are losing week in, week out, albeit they just did get a draw against Crystal Palace in an impressive performance, which does worry me a bit going into the game. However, I think Spurs on the back, we beat them 5-0 so easily last time we played them. We just have to get over the line, and I feel like it won't be pretty, but we will get the 3 points.
Yeah, I think Spurs are making a few changes probably from the game against Chelsea where they obviously succumbed to another defeat. But I think Tottenham should really have enough at home to Southampton side who are, I know they just got a draw and maybe they'll be buoyed by it, but I do think that goal against them in the last minute will be a bit of a dagger to the heart there because it was so close to achieving their goal of not being the worst side in the Premier League history. They were so close to it, it just got snatched away from them right at the death. And I think they'll be suffering a bit of the effects from that in this game. Tottenham should have enough quality here, even with a few changes. So I've gone for a 3-1 win to Spurs.
And next up, I think, is the Manchester Derby. What have we got in the Manchester Derby? So Sim has gone for
2-2.
You went for 2-2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I went for 1-1. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I think at Old Trafford, with the way Man United set up, I think it'll be hard for Man City to break them down. Man City not really playing well at the moment. No Erling Haaland. Kevin De Bruyne is obviously on his way out, and yeah, I think Man City still have a few tools to hurt them, but I feel like just with the way Man United set up, and sometimes in these big games they can just about do something. So I feel like 1-1. And I do feel like with Bruno Fernandes, they do have that X factor that can do something as well. So, yeah, I just couldn't split the result. I think 1-1.
Yeah, I went for 2-2. I just feel like Man United have been a bit better in the bigger games, so under Amorim. So I think I can see them. They obviously beat them at the Etihad, albeit that was a very close game. I think it's going to be. I can see them really upping their game here at Old Trafford. Man City, obviously no Haaland, so that focal point is going to be struggling against three centre backs. But I think Marmoush is good enough to fill in there. And I wonder how the dynamic will change with no Haaland in this game. But I see Man United playing quite a smart counter-attacking game, but not having enough to win. So 2-2 draw here.
And last but not least, Monday Night Football. Leicester against Newcastle. Both of us gone for the same scoreline in 2-0 to Newcastle. Doesn't really need too much of an explanation, this one. Leicester struggling for goals, struggling for wins, struggling for anything right now, bereft of confidence. Is it a case to say that Ruud van Nistelrooy might go down as one of the worst Premier League managers ever with what he's showing with Leicester right now? Newcastle, on the other hand, got a good win against Brentford on the back of a cup win, and I think it'll be just a routine victory for Newcastle.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a comfortable win. I don't think they have to be brilliant to win and keep a clean sheet. I think they'll just do enough. They got over the line against Brentford, which was really crucial after winning the cup, to get back on track and not let this, because you've seen it. How many times have you seen it with teams who win the cup and they let the league season just fall away?
Yeah.
So I think that was so important to win that next game and show that they're still as motivated to get into the Champions League. And I think that should be enough to take that momentum into this game and win it 2-0. Leicester, can't see them scoring in this one. Vardy, I can't remember the last time he scored. I thought it was against Spurs, isn't it? So, yeah.
It's the last time they scored.
Yeah, so Newcastle, I think, will comfortably win this 2-0.
Yeah. So let's move on to the star men. Sim has gone for Big Dom.
Big Dom using the card. I think he will start against Southampton, so I think it's a good time to use
You're
it.
saying using the card like he's a guarantee. Like he's only scored 7 goals this
He's
season.
a card. He's a card against Southampton. They're all cards. You're using a Sade card.
Yeah, I'll be using Sade, and basically I was just going through the fixtures, and all the teams that I think are going to have big wins this season, I've pretty much used all their big players. I think Brentford have got it in them to get some goals against Chelsea, and I've used Mbeumo, I've used Wissa. Sade is the only one I haven't used. There is a chance that he doesn't start, to be fair, but he has been starting a lot recently, so I've gone for Sade. Sim's gone for Solanke. Let us know your predictions in the comments section below. Can Sim claw it back this weekend, or am I going to extend my lead? Let me know in the comments section below. But I think that is it. I think that is it from us today, guys. Nearly 3-hour live.